Top of the morning to you, Justine.
Oh, it's a fresh one. It's a wee bit nippy on the hands this morning. But a lovely night, sleeping here in the river, cruising on by. Looking forward to the fun and games we have today. I think we might have a little surprise today. A bit of a treat. Maybe a bit of sampling of local produce.
Now, no sugar this morning, Kevin. We're not having you overexcited, all right? So I've got some little tablets for your tea, so should be nice and calm today, all right? Yes?
For the most part, the Spey in Scotland is a wild river. At least wild for Scotland. It's got, country, banks, sheep, cows, some roads, some small hamlets, fishing lodges, but mostly it has that wilderness feel to it, and sometimes it doesn't. What are you doing? You're having tea at a whiskey distillery.
This is the warm-up. This is to, get something inside you.
There we go, guys.
Kevin, it's a civilized tour. It's not to get pissed.
We're having a civilized tour here, and we're having a cup of tea before we go and get boozed up. Why are there a lot of distilleries on the Spey?
Because in Speyside, one of the factors is we have a lot of very high quality spring water. We love the handcrafted approach to making our whiskey. So from the very start, from floor malting, taking the seeds, preparing them for the distillery here ourselves. Very few people do this the traditional way, the right way, we feel, to make our whiskey. My favorite Balvenie? That's a hard question. I do enjoy 21-year-old Portwood. Is a delicious whiskey, extremely high quality. 21-year-old American oak aged whiskey finished in a port cask. Amazing whiskey. You might have a try of some later if you're lucky. So obviously here we have barley. This particular type of barley we are working with here at Balvenie, Concerto. Okay, that's the variety of barley we are working with. The start of the malting process, steeping. Steeping is a 2-day process where we run 6 hours on water, as you see right now. Take this water off, 6 hours off water, and we repeat this cycle for 2 days. Okay, slowly raising the moisture content in the seed right up. You'll see, I'll show you a handful of the seeds there. See, they're ever so slightly starting to swell. Yeah, really uptaking that water. This is good. Kilning is a 2-day process where we sit these seeds on a perforated metal floor, and it allows 2 things to pass through. The first of which being heat from the fire below, the drying source. The second of which being this small amount of peat smoke you see rising up through the seeds at the moment. If we were on Islay, for example, where they want to produce a heavily peated single malt whiskey, we'd open up the kiln and we'd see shed loads of peat smoke going up through the seeds, hence creating a heavily peated whiskey. Yeah, here at Balvenie, just that small touch on day one. The fire here.
That's nice.
So the heat source for the kiln here, you can see burning this stuff behind us here. Not conventional coal. Okay, if we were burning conventional coal, it'd be plumes of horrible dark smoke going up through the seeds. Not what we want. This is anthracite, so a hard coal, and burns with that lovely smokeless flame that you can see there. A lovely drying source for us. Of course.
My feet are cold.
You need to dry your feet off, yeah.
Just warming up. I've still got my sweaty thermals on and they're a bit sweaty. So I'm just, you know, getting the air in. It's nice. Can't take her anywhere. That's really nice up your back. I won't embarrass you though, I won't take my trousers off.
So if you don't know what peat is, essentially a build-up of heather, moss, twigs, built up in a peat bog, yeah, and we bring this out in strips and dry it down to these sort of sausage-looking things. The key thing being, this is Speyside peat, local peat. Okay, I get it from 40 minutes up on the hill there. You get a lovely earthy flavour of a Speyside peat. But if I smell that at the moment, it smells like nothing, like dry dirt, essentially. It's only when we apply heat to this, through the peat smoker here, you get this lovely peat smoke. So
oh, that is nice.
It's the only mill we have here at Balvenie. So all the malt we're producing ourselves, all of the malt we're buying in, milled through this guy right here. You can see some flour readily available there, the center of the seed here, and the outside, the husk. All of this will be key within this next stage of the process. So we're going to take 11.8 tons of grist, some of this being our slight peated factor from our maltings, and we're going to put it into the mash tank here.
This is where the magic happens.
We'll begin to give off heat, CO2, and we will start to produce alcohol. Essentially brewing a beer. We don't call it beer though, we call it wash. We'll see if we can get you a little sample of some wash. Would you like to try some?
Yes, I would.
I'm sure you would.
I'm Canadian. I like wash.
You need a wash.
So, middle of fermentation, this yeast is going to be very active. Yeah, so we'll have a look at this. You'll see all of this yeast is beginning to bubble up, rise up to the top of the wash back here. And we're having to use these blades on top just to keep this foam at bay. Yeah, if we didn't do this, it would literally be piling out over the top of the wash back. Yeah. Lovely. We'll have a look at this one. So this wash back coming to the end of its 65-hour fermentation, and we are left with wash, essentially a strong beer. This is about 9% ABV. Okay, so a strong beer. We'll pop in bumper there. That's washed all right. You want to try it?
Yes, wait a minute.
I'm smart.
Oh God, you're good. That's enough, my friend.
I've just been washed in Scotland on the Spey River.
And how was it?
God, that was horrible. I kind of like a hoppy IPA. Yeah.
9%, I think you said.
Oh God. That might have been a mistake.
It reminds me of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in here. It's really cool. I'm still looking for the Oompa Loompas. Maybe the haggis got them.
We're taking a ride to see some coppersmith in the Land Rover. Cool. I'll shut the door. We're good. Oh, that's we're good. All right, we're doing a whiskey safari. While we drive along, we're going to see some wild whiskey running into the fields. This is where they pick the crop.
What do you think about this crazy man?
It's quite funny.
Shut like crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
He didn't even believe you about the haggis.
No.
There's not haggis. There's no haggis.
Wild haggis.
They've got one leg shorter than the other so they can run around the hills.
See.
At least I'm gonna say the locals know the story. Were you like raised on this as soon as you came out of the womb? I got a haggis story for you. But how many casts were here?
There's a million on site.
A million? A million casks of whiskey.
But each cask has like at least 300 bottles in it, I think. So that's 300 million bottles of whiskey here.
I'm moving to Scotland.
We're going to get a much different tasting whiskey from an American oak cask to a European oak cask. So the easiest way for me to show you this is to give you a bit of whiskey from each of these casks, and you'll taste the lovely different flavours we're creating.
Could you just say that again? What are we doing now?
We're about to go to a warehouse to drink some whiskey, my friend.
I love this country.